Hi, my name is Jody Hazelden. I'm a CPRS trainer here at NWI. We're going to go over the Notes tab here in CPRS. The first thing you're going to do when writing a note is select this visit encounter box here where it says visit not selected. If you haven't selected your appointment from that file selected box when you go to open your appointment, you're going to choose this visit not selected. This is going to tie your note to your appointment that you're seeing the patient for. You're going to have a couple of choices in here. You're going to make sure that your encounter provider is correct. And then you're going to make sure that you choose the correct clinic appointment from the selection screen. Or you're going to choose the hospital admission you're seeing the patient for. Or if neither of those are listed, you're going to create a new visit from this visit location tool. So I'm going to type in O/CPRS. I'm going to create a test appointment. If you're seeing the patient for a telephone visit, you're going to make sure to choose a telephone visit. Or if it's a VVC visit, you're going to choose the appropriate VVC visit. If it's a historical visit where you don't need workload credit, you're going to make sure you choose that historical visit box. And then you're going to choose a date and time of visit. If it's not now, if it was for a time in the past or a time in the future, you're going to choose that appropriate time and then select OK. And it's going to update this to be that appropriate date and time and location. You want to make sure that is correct before you start your note so that that note goes to the correct location. From here, you'll start a new note by choosing the New Note drawer. You'll make sure that you're the author on your note. If it requires a cosigner, you'll add your attending as the cosigner. The note title, you'll choose the appropriate note title. You'll see that you'll have a list of pre-selected note titles above this line. That'll come up right here. Below the line is going to be a really long list of note titles, including note titles from Iowa City and Central Iowa. You don't want to grab notes from that list. You want to make sure you're using pre-selected note titles. If you just start typing, it's going to just be a grab bag of note titles that may or may not be appropriate for you. You don't want to do that. It's just going to start typing in notes that can include note titles from Central Iowa. You'll see that's notated by that CI. It's going to indicate Central Iowa. You'll see that some of them will be IC for Iowa City. You don't want to use those. It's not going to contain all the information that you need. You want to make sure that you are using note titles that are from that list that were given to you. So if you want that history and physical, you would use history and physical in the note that was given to you. It's going to contain all the information that you need. So today I'm going to go ahead and use that history and physical exam update. That T indicates there's a template already attached to it. So as I continue, it's going to make sure that it does include the template that I need. With any template, in the upper left-hand side, it may have a tick box that you need to select for that template to populate. Anything square is mandatory. Anything round is not. Anything with an asterisk is going to be mandatory. So it's going to have you select these and go through that template. So you would fill out that template. I'm going to hit cancel here because I'm going to go through this note as if it doesn't have a template attached to it. So if this note did not have a template attached to it, you would be able to type in this note and fill it out. If it did not have a template attached to it and you wanted to use one, you can do so by using this templates drawer right here. You would open it up and you would open up the shared templates folder and go down to Omaha shared templates. And you'll see that in alphabetical order, there's a whole list of specialties. You would go down to your specialty and choose the one that's appropriate. So if you were in general medicine or general surgery, you would highlight it, right click, and to customize that, you can mark it as your default. So you don't have to go through all of that every time. You can mark it as your default. It will automatically open it every time you use it. So if I were in general surgery, I can open it up and then choose from any of those. So if I were doing a short H&P, I can open that up, and it's going to give me this information. I can type it in. Oops. And hit finish. And it's going to populate that into my note where I had the cursor. If for some reason I had used the wrong note title or I had chosen the wrong attending, up in the upper right hand corner where it says change, I can choose that. And I can change the note title if I needed to, or change any of this information, the date and time, or author. If I am not done with my note, but I'm not ready to sign it, I can right-click in here and choose Save Without Signature. And now I've placed this note in here in an unsigned state. Until it's signed, I can delete my note by right-clicking and choosing Delete Progress Note. Or I can sign my note by right-clicking and choosing Sign Note Now. So when I'm ready to sign, I can right-click and sign it by entering my signature code and signing it. It will let you know if that's not correct. Once it's signed, I can't make any changes. So if I wanted to right-click and edit that, I cannot make any more changes. I can make an addendum by right-clicking and choosing Make Addendum. So I can add more information in an addendum. This is also how you would choose to delete a note by requesting medical records deleted. We do have a template for that. That's also in the templates drawer. You would go back up to those Omaha shared templates almost to the top and choose Remove a note signed in error and double click on that. This tells you exactly what you need to do, and it tells you who to add as additional signers to remove the note. So it tells you basically that if you haven't signed it, that you can delete it yourself. It tells you to make an addendum, which we've already done. So it would tell you that you need to put the reason you need to have it removed. So I'm going to put in there that it was an incorrect patient and I want it removed, and hit OK. And then it tells me the names of the additional signers I need to place in there. Before you can add additional signers, you need to sign the note. So I'll sign my addendum and hit OK. And then to add additional signers, you'll right-click and choose Identify Additional Signers. And then it's going to give me a long list of providers. I would add those people as additional signers. It would be Lori Alvarez, Ray Peary, and those two are usually good enough. And I would add those as additional signers. You can also remove them by choosing Identify Additional Signers. This Identify Additional Signers is also a good tool to add their primary care providers if you needed to add them to your note as additional signers, if you wanted to notify them of something that happened during your visit, or if you needed to notify somebody else, you can identify them as an additional signer. It will send them a view alert for that note that you just wrote. Once you write your note, you will encounter it, and we will go over that in another video. Thank you for listening.